Sup, heathens? I'm Happy Viking, and I'm here to make you awesome, one frothy pint of metal at a time. So drink up. Last time you saw me, I spent a whole half hour scrutinizing a crummy action movie for portraying my countrymen as inhuman monsters. So, to make up for lost time and to restore the honor of my people, I'm going to talk about some real Vikings. Yes, Vikings, one of my favorite topics, right next to metal, beer, sex, video games, and vegetarian cooking. By which I mean actually cooking and eating vegetarians. Lean but gamey, makes for a filling broth. Anywho, Vikings have long been a favorite topic for metal musicians, even before the genre itself really solidified. Just look at the Immigrant Song, for example. This is not only because of them being the most ballsy, brazen, and badass barbarians of the day, but also because metalheads have a lot in common with them, philosophically speaking. I mean, think about it. Metalheads place high importance on integrity and personal honor, like the Vikings did. Metalheads despise oppressive and unjust authority. The Vikings did too. Metalheads do not take any shit. Vikings never took any shit. Just ask Ale of Northumbria. He got his shit fucked up. Considering all of this, it's only natural for metalheads to identify with these merciless marauders of times gone by. Hell, do you think it's a coincidence that after 1,000 years of immortal conquest, I settle down and review metal for a living? No siree, straight up spiritual kinship. And the band I'm reviewing today is particularly close to their rough and tumble fist-fighting forefathers. I'm talking about Vinterblot. Now, usually the band I review has some sort of silly gimmick, like, ooh, Japanese instruments, messengers of Satan, pirates, a cappella, messengers of Satan again. But not this time. Vinterblot is pretty straightforward, actually. Vinterblot, what do you play?
Death metal.
Good old death metal. No frills, all thrills, all kills. Some spills. Blood spills, that is. Vinterblot is, for lack of better words, brutal as fuck. There are not enough umlauts on the earth to fully express this band's brutality. It's basically like the Wild Hunt set to music. Thunder claps, lightning strikes, and giants explode, littering the countryside with guts, giblets, and half-digested peasant children. Vinterblot formed only a mere 4 years ago in 2008, and they've made quite a splash in the European underground scene with their punishing drums, crushing guitars, and monstrous bellowing. Hot damn, this is the music that Thor uses to get his wife in the mood. It's thick, heavy, and made by the legitimate article. Fucking Vikings. Real Vikings. With Viking hair, Viking muscles, and real Viking names like Vundra, Fjorgen, and Wolf. What part of Scandinavia do these boys come from anyway? Norway? Sweden? Svalbard? You know what? I bet a Japanese band from Finland, a 1970s rock band from 2006, and a stadium rock group from outer space. Italian Vikings is pretty mild. And this joke was never that funny anyway, so moving on. I found out about Vinterblot while doing research for Neon Fly. I was checking out their record label, Rising Records, and I found Vinterblot in their lineup. I also found a lot of accusations of the label scamming new bands and stealing their money. So, yeah, in that case, fuck Rising Records. But anyways, Vinterblot started as most bands do, with a close-knit clique of comrades full of piss and vinegar with dreams of being rad. In 2008, this heathenous herd of Italian stallions began crafting their wickedly powerful sound and formulating a framework for their debut release, an EP named simply For Asgard. It was well received by everyone ever, and it secured them a place at Rising Records. As far as I know, there hasn't been any funny business over there, but I doubt anyone would be stupid enough to steal money from these scary sons of bitches. Legend says that if you cut them, snakes will erupt from their wounds and bite your dick off. And also, just this year, Vinterblot released their first legit full-length album, Nether Collapse. Odin smiles from atop his mighty throne, boys. This gift of Viking metal pleases him greatly. Be sure to keep an eye on the local weather forecast though, fellas, because it will be raining mead and prostitutes in Bari for 9 straight days. Also, for those not in the know, Viking metal isn't an affectionate nickname I'm giving their sound right at this moment. It's actually the name of the specific style of music they're playing. Remember folks, it's not a gimmick if everybody's doing it, then it's a genre. Or a fad. But like I said earlier, metalheads love Vikings. And why wouldn't they? Vikings are the sociological equivalent of Oscar Mayer wieners. They're what everyone truly wants to be, because then everyone would be in love with them. At the risk of sounding egotistical, Scandinavian culture is objectively better than everyone else's. I mean, come on. We gave the world fricadella. I've yet to see any other culture match that achievement. The Great Wall of China, you say? Get real. Can you eat a Great Wall? No, of course not. It's too long, and made of stone, and there's not enough fiber in the world to get it past. Sorry, where was I? Oh, yes, right. Music. Though these guys do have a healthy interest in Norse mythology, history, and paganism in general, really, they are not at all limited to it. For Asgard obviously has a lot of Viking stuff in it, but Nether Collapse much less so. In their own words, they describe it as being a metaphorical concept album about the conditions of modern mankind, so bound by moralism, fears, conformity, prejudices, etc. Damn, son. These guys just went from praising the hell-raising of their heathenist heroes to ruminating on the ills of society at large. These boys are versatile, that is for damn sure. Granted, the major metaphor that Nether Collapse uses for said ruminating is ritual sacrifice. So, yeah, you can still feel their roots. Social commentary is always best when it's presented violently anyway. Hell, that's pretty much the only reason that hardcore punk even exists. But anyway, Vinterblot simply takes what inspires them and uses it to make music. As they should. And Vinterblot takes inspiration from many different musical sources, though mostly black and death metal from the 90s, you know, stuff like Amon Amarth, Immortal, Morbid Angel, Windeer, and naturally the granddaddy of Viking metal itself, Bathory. I mean, come on, they're named after a Bathory song, specifically the one I played at the beginning of the title card sequence because I think I'm clever like that. Though you can hear a lot of Amon Amarth in their music, the black metal influence is what makes Vinterblot sound unique. That crushing feeling of unrelenting oppressive darkness backed up by 500 pounds of pulverizing power. You know, I'm typically not that big a fan of black metal by itself, but I fucking love it as an added ingredient. You'd think that a subgenre categorized by misanthropy and relentless individualism wouldn't mix as well as it does, but lo and behold, it does. It's kinda like hot sauce, you see, like a little will make your dish exotic and flavorful. Too much and something's gonna catch fire. Another fun thing I like about black metal, besides, you know, the fire, the brimstone, and the severed goat heads, is the incomprehensible vocals. The singer, Phineas, sings like Satan getting his cherry popped. It makes for suitably evil and wicked singing, but I can't understand a word he's saying. Now, I understand that growlers aren't exactly the pinnacles of clarity, but I can usually make out the occasional word made by Johann Hegg or Corpse Grinder. But Phineas's voice is like tar, man. It's thick and black and presumably murder on the throat. Wait, there was an innuendo in there, wasn't there? Yeah, I think there was. It sounds fucking awesome, but it can get repetitive. But then, that's the thing about this style of singing, it's difficult. It's hard to emote, it's hard to articulate, and it's hard to make your own. When you and hundreds of others sound like the literal bowels of hell, it gets tricky to distinguish yourself. In fact, in a much smaller capacity, I could say that about the whole band. As awesome as Vinterblot is, they don't really do a whole lot too differently, which is really problematic when they keep getting compared to a jugular-crushing juggernaut like Amon Amarth. Which it does, almost all of the damn time. Granted, the comparisons I've read were universally positive, but the point still stands. This will probably fade as Vinterblot gets more popular and write about less Vikingly topics, so they'll stop being seen as a carbon copy and eventually carve out their own little niche. So, despite being something of a dead ringer for a certain other death metal dynamo, Vinterblot still stands tall and delivers the kind of sick and sadistic savagery we all crave. Are they original? Not quite, but they take from many deadly and dangerous sources and end up better than the sum of their parts. They may not reinvent the wheel, but they do make it look badass and evil and spiky and shit. They're dark, foreboding, and chock full of metal, might, and mysticism. And I would like to see them improve on it, keep rocking the black metal atmospherics and develop their songwriting. And above all, keep having a good time. Because, as Wanderer said, Vinterblot is a form of expression, an outburst of our passion on the stage, and something we believe in as musicians and buddies. Right on, guy. Here's to you and your Italian Viking brothers. May you win the crowd, crush your enemies, and above all else, have a good time. You will go far. I'm Happy Viking, and you've just been served your recommended dosage of heavy metal. Rock on and drink responsibly. But now, if you excuse me, all this talk of Vikings has given me a hankering for some, fricadella. I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy.
Hi, I'm Fanus from Vinterblot and you are watching Blank TV, dangerous music for dangerous people.